Hello friends and welcome to another video lesson from DBOS Talks. If you haven't subscribed yet, please click subscribe and click the bell so that you can be notified of new uploads. In this video, we'll get to know how to do automatic declutter or do housekeeping of our Windows environment. Okay, so the file system in Windows. As you know, over a period of time, your files will grow exponentially. It's expected. More folders will be created, more files will be created. The files will become bigger, become more complex. The structure of the file system will become more complex and so on. So you will need periodic maintenance, housekeeping. Otherwise, you will run out of disk space or will simply at the early stage or at the middle, not early stage, but after maybe a few months, maybe 6 months, a year, you could experience a slowness in your performance of your desktop. So to do that, automatic decluttering or housekeeping of your files, we can do this. The thing that you will use is called Storage Sense. It's an option in Windows. Okay, so to get to that, you just in your Windows search field, you can type storage. You can also go to storage settings. Once you type storage, storage settings will show and you can click on that. Yes. Okay. And once you're there in storage settings, you will see, if you remember in a previous video, I spoke about this. It's one of the things that you don't need to download, like say file management, space management specifically. So in this video, we'll be learning how to leverage on this functionality to do something else for us, which is to do automatic housekeeping or decluttering of our files. Okay, how's that? So once you type storage in your Windows search field, you will see this storage settings window. Click on that. And then once you're here, you can, it is actually called Storage Sense. I will slide this. So this is Storage Sense. So Storage Sense can automatically free up space by getting rid of files you don't need, like temporary files and content in your recycle bin. So in my case, the slider, the toggle switch is already slid to the on position. In your case, it could be like this. So in which case, if you wanted to configure the Storage Sense option in your Windows machine, then you slide it to the on position, okay? And then if you want to dig deeper and do detailed configuration according to your states, according to your requirements, then you can click on this blue link over here, which says configure Storage Sense or run it now. So we will click on that now, and it brings up other options in the Storage Sense feature. So under Storage Sense already, it's at the on position already, because we already said it earlier. And then here it's run Storage Sense. So it is obviously asking you when or how frequent or at what parameters does Windows automatically run Storage Sense to do a decluttering, a housekeeping of your files. So for me, what's selected is this one, during low free disk space. So this is a good default, meaning once the Windows environment experiences low free disk space, then it will run Storage Sense to try to declutter the disk space usage. Okay, if we drop it down, there are other options like every day, every week, every month, depending on your requirements. So feel free to choose whatever suits you the best. Okay, in my case, I will just choose this during low free disk space. And then below, temporary files. So you could check or uncheck this one. For me, I will check it or tick it. The checkbox is labeled delete temporary files that my apps aren't using. Okay, so that's very plain to see. It's obviously a big help, and it makes sense for Windows to automatically delete temporary files that your apps aren't using at all. Okay, and below that, related to these temporary files, are two questions or settings. One is delete files in my recycle bin if they have been there for over 30 days. Okay, so sorry. This isn't the same as the temporary files. This is talking about the recycle bin. The ones you delete, you know, when you delete something. Okay, let me just show you. So this is your recycle bin, meaning after you delete something, it goes to the recycle bin, isn't it? So that's what it's talking about here. This recycle bin over here. So meaning delete files in my recycle bin if they have been there for over, up to you. Could be 30 days, could be 60, 1 day, 14, up to you really. Okay, so that's another setting that can help you. It will automatically delete whatever is in the recycle bin after the set number of days. The one that you have set it here. And then below it is delete files in my downloads folder if they haven't been opened for more than, so up to you. It could be never, it could be 1, 14, 30, or 6 days, 60 days. So as you know, when you download something, it will automatically go to this folder, downloads folder, right? So the downloads folder is the default folder where downloads go to, right? And so Windows is asking you for, if in case you wanted to do this specific setting, that it will also delete files in the downloads folder if they haven't been open for more than a certain number of days. In my case, it's never, but it's really up to you. Okay, and then just at the bottom is this free up space. Now, if you really have the urgent requirement to free up space, to declutter, to do a housekeeping of your file system right now, then you can just go ahead and click this button labeled Clean Now. So it's saying if you're low on space, you can try to clean up files now using the settings on this page, meaning the settings that you have just defined, not that one. No. Wait. Let me get back to it. So the settings you have defined here. Okay. So they will take effect, they will kick off when you click this. Otherwise, if you don't click this button now, it's still okay. The Windows setting will follow the frequency, the scheduling, the frequency that you have defined here, such as this. During low free disk space, this is not a frequency based on time, but it's based on a triggering situation, a situation wherein it's so constantly Windows will be monitoring your disk space, and then when it senses, depending on the watermark it has defined, then if it senses low disk space according to its own definition, then it will run the storage sense. Temporary files, okay. That's this download folder and recycle bin. Okay, so that is storage sense. Storage sense is a Windows feature built in. If you have Windows 10 and upwards, 11 for sure, they will have it too. I'm not so sure about Windows 7, but maybe. So this is one of those goodies that are seldom used by you and me. And it could be, it's a godsend. It could be a big help in times. And you don't even need to wait for the worst case scenario when your desktop or laptop is already screeching to a halt almost. So you don't need to wait for that. Right now, right here, you can make this setting, storage sense, and it is easy to set. The instructions are very easy to comprehend, and it will work for you. You don't need to do any, you don't have to lift a finger after doing this one-time setup. You don't have to lift a finger. It will do the housekeeping for you automatically, okay? So I hope we've learned something new from this short and sweet video. I hope it really helps you in the future when you get to that point, when you get to that situation, okay? If you haven't subscribed yet, I do suggest you click subscribe, click the bell, and spread the word. Click like, you can post a comment. And I will be seeing you in the next video.